I'm Wayne's partner in the restaurant, and I'm absolutely thrilled to be here today to introduce two great people. One I know extremely well, and one I had the pleasure of meeting as he toured the restaurant with my sister back about a year ago, and he was like a school kid going through the restaurant, appreciating every piece of it. A couple things that I want to point out. First of all, Phyllis Gretzky told me that she was the one that did the backyard rink, and I know Wally takes credit for it, but Phyllis, if she was here, God bless her, she would let you know that it was her rink. She spent all the time grooming it and everything else. So as I said, I've got a great job. I get to introduce two wonderful people. I'm going to start off with our good friend Walter Gretzky. What don't you know about Walter? Great Canadian, great person, great father, great everything. He's everything to us at the restaurant. We say that he is our best employee because nobody works harder when he's in the restaurant, and the best part of it, our Adrian, our general managers here, will attest to the fact we never have to pay him for anything. And he's absolutely solid. He cares about every single customer that comes in the place, and he doesn't mind me telling you this. Phyllis would have complained if she was here, but if you show up at his house or at the restaurant, you get treated the exact same by Wally, and that's what makes him such a special, special person. Recently, Walter was invested into the Order of Canada, which for Canadians, we know what it means. For our American friends who are here, it's the greatest honor a citizen can receive in Canada. You're recognized for the great contributions you've made to this great country, and Walter received it a year ago, and we're all immensely proud of him because we know what it means to all Canadians. He's also a member of the Order of Ontario, which is the Ontario version of that, and a spectacular person. I want to point out that the Gretzky support of the CNIB started when Wayne was 18, and they met two blind boys that came by the house, and one recognized Wayne by voice, and Walter was so taken by that moment and taken by the fact that these kids had such great senses and were just great people that he committed to the CNIB at that point in time, and he's been there, and he's raised over $3 million in the years to come. A lot of it through that bench program. We have one out in the restaurant, you'll see the bench, but everything Walter gives to, he gives 1,000%. He's the Lord Mayor of Brantford because the people from Brantford that are here today will attest to the fact that they couldn't ask for a better ambassador. Everything he does seems to rotate around Brantford. Wally, what is it? It's the center of the universe as far as you're concerned?
Here.
That's the Brantford contingent applauding that one. But as you all know, Walter is a fantastic human being, a fantastic person. He's lived a life that's worthy of a movie, and he's already had one, and I'm sure there'll be others to come because what he has endured in life, what he's gone through life, and quite frankly, the way he's raised such a fantastic family, despite all these challenges, is something that we should all be proud of. So Walter will be up in a second because the show is about him and Kevin today. With regards to Kevin, as I was saying to his wife Jen, who's accompanying today, when you watch Kevin on HBO, it's kind of tough. You laugh your ass off, but the other part of it is you're afraid that your wife or daughters might come into the room because you don't really want to sit there and share a Kevin Smith presentation with your kids. But I know there's a lot of his fans here today, and Kevin's going to regale you shortly. But Kevin does have a contact or a relationship with Canada. Back in the 80s, he was at the Vancouver Film School, albeit for a short period of time, but we Canadians always like to point stuff out like that. Fantastic producer, director, even actor in some of his movies, Good Will Hunting, Jersey Girl, Clerks, Zach and Mary Make a Porn. Walter, we're not going to tell you about that one, but it's not as bad as you think. But Kevin is a huge fan of hockey, and I think everybody that is a fan of Kevin's knows that. And it was just an absolute natural when him and the Gretzky family got involved and met each other that something good was going to come from it. And you're here today to hear another great story in terms of how that relationship has evolved into something really special. So without saying anything more, I'd like to call Walter Gretzky up here. Ladies and gentlemen, Walter Gretzky, Lord of Canada, Lord of Canada. Yes, afternoon, 1:30.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's wonderful to be here with all you people. It's just so awesome. Words can't describe it. My parents were European of Polish and Russian descent, and of course over there, if you're a commoner, you're nothing, you're nobody over here. We don't have such a thing. Everybody's special, and they never ever got used to it, to see our MPs and people like Kevin here at a function like this, and everybody able to come here. So thank you very much, everyone, for being here. And it helps so many people who need a lot of help. And are we bringing Kevin up now yet? Kevin, on behalf of the people in the city of Brantford, we have something here for you. Pardon? And it's for all the wonderful things you do for us.
Wow, this rocks. Makes absolute sense. This rocks. I would totally put it on, but then the picture of the day would be like Smith tries to squeeze into very small.
We have a hat for Kevin also, and Kevin's a very special person. He's always helping people wherever he goes. That's his way of life, and certainly we're God's angels to be doing that all the time. And people of Brantford, we appreciate you so much, Kevin. Thank you ever so much for what you do for us.
Thank you so much. Let's talk about what we're here to talk about. Come on back. Whoa. I'm losing. You have a seat. I'm going to jump over here fast. Get everyone here? Do you need mics? There you go. This will help.
It's hard to see what the lights are flashing.
I know. Can we is it possible to turn on? Are there house lights? We don't have to stand on ceremony. The theater part is over. Now we get down to the facts and the nitty-gritty of it all. Thanks for coming out, everybody. You know, it's 1 o'clock. Or not now. It's later than 1 o'clock. Midweek. Thank you, sir. Like I do. So we appreciate you being here. We're here to announce, and I guess more importantly, confirm that the Edmonton Oilers are trading Walter Gretzky to Los Angeles. Every time there's a Gretzky press conference, something horrible happens in this country. And no, we're here to talk about the tournament, which you'll see their information pack, so I'm not going to bore you with the details, which you can read. I'm going to tell you why I'm involved. I love the Gretzkys, as most people who follow me at this point have known, because I've made it obnoxiously clear for the last year and a half. Going to Brantford last year for this tournament wasn't just something that benefited Brantford. Like, you know, we raised some money and stuff, gave it to the Legacy Fund, and you know, got to kind of put the tournament kind of out there front and center, publicity-wise. But for me, it was just the chance to do something that I found incredibly fun in an environment that I found incredibly inspirational, under, you know, the watchful eye of the dude who trained the greatest hockey player in the world. Knowing that guy trained the greatest hockey player in the world, watched his kid in the backyard turn into the greatest hockey player in the world, years later watch my fat ass in goal not play well, that was awesome. That was so good for me. And I hadn't played street hockey in 15 years. I got busy making films or something like that, and I put it aside, and it got progressively fatter, as you can see. But last year, man, in between the pipes, for that whole day, I was astounding. I was a god again, and I'd never been a god before. And there were people watching me and applauding for something that normally I don't get applauded for. Like, I'm used to getting up on stage and say, "Hey, I'm fat," and everyone's like, "He's right," and they clap. This was different. It was amazing. I was in gold. Like, I'd never been applauded for something physical, not even by my wife, who I have sex with all the time. So to be in gold, like, I make a save, and everyone was like, they were applauding my physical performance, like as an athlete, if you will. It was a $1 million experience, and it cost me virtually nothing. I said right then and there, I'm coming back every year until the day I die. I don't care if I die right there. I'll die between those pipes, because what a way to go out. It was fantastic. So as you know, know we're going into, this is the fourth year, this is fourth year at the tournament